Close, man. Studio, let them know you out.
Peace and blessings.
Do something being so close, man.
Yeah. Yeah, we in Philly.
Man, let them know. Let the people know y'all out. Y'all out. Let them know.
Yeah, we're out. He can speak for himself, but I'm Brother Asar Imhotep, Madhu Mandela Institute for the Advancement of Science and Culture, here with Sonetta TV, getting it in with my brothers of the Amaral Squad and Brother Polight. And
parts of Philly, California, Atlanta,
you know,
spread out.
And so we are a research collective, and this is how we do on the regular. So
all right. Shout out to Sonetta TV. You know, Sinjetti. You know, I really enjoyed my time here. You know what I'm saying, on the couch. All right, busting up with my brothers. Thank you, Sonetta, for giving us the opportunity, you know, do a little presentation, have some good conversation. You know, we look forward to doing that again. Again, Amaral Squad, Magi, you know, his institute here. You know, again, we research, and it's about critical thinking. All right, you know, here, you know, we translate text, we read it, try to get understanding of it, be as objective on one end, but you can't be totally objective because we're using an African-centered perspective. Okay, so again, you know, we really want to put out the research and be better examples of this is what scholarship looks like. Okay, it's not about a hollering, hemming and hawing, getting angry and all that kind of stuff. When you take all that out, when you take out all the theatrics, the jumping on stage and all, when you take that away, what do you have left?
Wait, hold on. All right, let's go. They ready.
the black man is God.
All right, now we are still here. We got the Magi and we got the God Killer. But hold on. I want Polight to finish what he was gonna say. I want Polight to finish, man.
I hear some David hell with all that. We brought this back right here, right? The red, black, and the damn green. Shit, that's what it's about. We brought that back. What your tablecloth? Here, Polight. It is about the howling and screaming sometimes. You know what I mean?
Nah, hell yeah.
Come on, man. That would be I was sitting on my tablecloth, man. So what, man? That shit was powerful. Come on, man. Y'all did y'all thing in there, yo. All right, brother.
Yeah.
Y'all was acting like we couldn't do an event. They was trying to think that they couldn't really do an event. You know what I'm saying? With the Amaral Squad, like we ain't really had no pull like that. Now they know. You know what I'm saying? I think that was a hell of a goddamn. What you think, Smash? I think that was a hell of a goddamn workout right there. What you think?
When I was at the Brooklyn Bowl, it was sold out. Way more people than that. Now I was just rapping, so y'all need to get it up. Y'all got to come out and keep it. Oh, they was mad at them shoes right there. Hey, why y'all hating on my boy getting his? Let me ask that. But why y'all hating? I throw on a pair of those. They did a presentation about my family member shoes, B. You know you ain't got no scholarship if you made a PowerPoint about my man's shoes.
Yo, did they bring a PowerPoint about some shoes? Let me ask you this question. Hold on. Let me ask you this question. Do they have Hebrew factories that actually take the plant, the cotton from the earth, and produce the stitching to make their own clothes? Or did they buy that shit like everybody else did?
They bought it like everybody else did. You know.
Let me tear them off a little something. This is one of them things y'all been looking for, and this is actually out of a book by Leonard Lesko called Pharaoh's Workers. Because a lot of the Hebrews like to act like they was the Pharaoh's workers. But let's break it down how it really went down. If you ever been in California, you ever seen the day laborers? There's a spot on the corner where you could go stand in order to get work in the morning. You see what I'm saying? And a lot of people who might not could find work, specifically a lot of Mexican immigrants, and some of our Mexican brothers, they do day labor. You can stand at spots and pick up a job. Well, we finally realized it was like that in Deir el Medina, where a lot of people would come in to Kemet looking for work, you know what I'm saying, and basically find work as a tomb worker or whatever. But here's the deal.
Whoa, hold on, wait, go back there. Oh.
Yeah, they would find work as tomb workers.
Straight. Like the Mexicans come in.
Yeah, I just broke that down. Just like day laborers. That's what we call it in California. But here goes something that y'all should note now. These people were afforded tombs, houses. You know what I'm saying? They had everything. So anybody who tried to portray the workers or the Pharaoh's workers as, I just want to go off the head for a minute, forget the book. Anybody want to portray the Pharaoh's workers or slaves or anything, that's just not looking at any primary text. But here goes something that we learned. when we start talking about the tales of Horus and Set and all the deviants and all the stuff, what we finally learn is a lot of these stories are foreign injections. I mean, and I can prove it. But I'm going to give them some information that nobody gave them, since they always talking about the contenders of Horus and Set. They need to look this up and find out that the contenders of Horus and Set was found in the...
Cold as shit, nigga. I know we in New York. What's going on, son?
Horus and Set was found in Deir el Medina, and that was a Canaanite city. It was actually found in a guy named Nyaket. I got his name right here in the book, but in Nyaket's tomb. Okay, so this was like a Canaanite text. They found it in Deir el Medina. But let's.
It's called something Mayat.
You said John or Debar. What's the name of the place? Oh, that's the other place.
No, that's the Arabic name.
Okay, but so this is why I want to read a few sources for a few things that people seem to have never seen before.
That's where that papyrus comes from.
That is where that papyri come from. The village workers, the village workers in Deir el Medina. And that was Canaanites, majority. It was a few Nubians too, but like I said, they would come into Kemet looking for work as day laborers. I can read it straight from the book. I can take y'all to the primary, but I want to read something else as a reference to homosexual behavior and us not having laws against that. I quoted Turin Papyrus 120.6, where it reads, and we can even find it in this book, The Pharaoh's Workers, where it reads, "There is even death of a man who acts as a woman, and vice versa." It said, which looks like a reference to homosexual behavior. And this is not the primary. The primary, again, because you got to check the primaries before you put out some work that a book say, is the Turin Papyrus 120.6. So when they act like we didn't have these real life functional laws, again, let me read it. Death of a man who acts as a woman. So y'all just be tripping. Now let me tell y'all something. I really want...
What nature is that?
Pardon me?
What nature is that?
This is actually Osiris giving out these commands. Osar, Wuser. So we know him as Wuser, you know what I'm saying? Just another great ancestor, but like he said, the nature was Osar, Osiris, or Oser putting this out. So acting like this was not decreed, called the Jew a Typhonian, is such a strong chapter that you can just Google the Jew a Typhonian, and you'll find out that everything that's set in body, this is why I didn't want to tear y'all off like that. Everything that's set in body was actually a personification of you, or the Hebrew in Kemet. I can prove that 100%. You need to research the riots of Alexandria around 38 CE, and we'll find out they called Jews and Greeks Xenophoros. Why don't you look up Xenophoros? Zonophoros. So Xenophoros. And you'll find out they was called girdle wearers. They was called evil. They were evil girdle wearers, and there was an oracle called the Potter's Oracle against the Typhonians or the Setians or the Xenophoros or the girdle wearers who was doing all this wicked stuff in Kemet. Now, what we gonna do about that? Yeah, for real. Because y'all been sitting around all this time asking us to explain Horus and Set, and we was like, nah, we don't want to do that. See, a lot of this is high science that it don't even require us to reveal a lot of this history just at your demand, but you keep beating on that door. Now you find out the story was about you. The story was about you. There's no getting away from it. The Jew, a Typhonian, is the document you want to read. And primarily, any Hebrew who cites Manetho, I said this from the gate. I told General Rahana, you don't know what you're doing by citing Manetho. Manetho said clearly the Jews start as defiled Egyptians, and they got sent to a city called Avaris because they got outcasted, and there was only them and lepers there. These are his words. So I'll be like, why y'all using Manetho? Because you ain't using Manetho, you using Josephus' refudiations of Manetho, but you only using his histories book. Go get his other book, Contra Apion, where he going against Apion. See, Apion is the one who stood on Manetho's translation, was like, oh, they all lepers. So he reiterated it. So the document I'm sharing with you is actually called The Jew a Typhonian and Josephus' Strategy at Refutation.
Let me ask my brother Unc a question. You call yourself the God Killer, the black atheist.
Right, real black
But I didn't see you kill no guard yesterday, brother. I didn't see you. He said, give me that, give me that. I didn't see you kill no guard, brother. What's up with that, man? Maybe you could kill guard right now with the black atheist.
Well, goddamn Polight in this super duper presentation. Nigga ain't had no damn time to do nothing. You know what I'm saying? He was in a damn zone. What the fuck we gonna do? Then the information about the homosexuality was very important. See, we not selfish right here. We not selfish right here in this group, man. You know what I mean? He knocked them niggas out in the first round, right? He come with repudiation of homosexuality. I just had enough time to smack them up. You know, they was already knocked out. You know how you walk by and kick them? You get, nigga. That was my job. You know what I'm saying? That's what I did. So they was already smashed up, man. And so when I'm talking about killing God, I'm talking about the idea and concept that's presented by the Indo-Europeans, Semitic races. I'm not talking about the original nature, okay? I'm not talking about the origin of the word God goes back to the imminent permeation of forces out of the burial mounds. Look it up. Look up the origin of the word God. It goes back to a burial mound, right? And what they thought was permeating out the burial mound. We know through science, right, that when you decompose, right, the elements go back into the air. Okay? Niggas ain't talking about that. Niggas ain't talking about the natural world. So niggas say, well, what you pray to? Nigga, I pray to the water. Why you pray to the water? Try 3 days without no motherfucking water. All right? What you pray to? I pray to the air. Nigga, let me take this air out this room. All right? So I pray to the things that is vital, because that's what we're talking about, vital force, man. So you will never hear me refute the vital force. You can't refute that which you're just connected to. That's impossible. So when I'm talking about killing God, and I say I'm atheos, I'm anti-theos. He know. What's theos? Theos is the Greek word for God. I'm anti-fucking Greek culture, anti-homosexuality, anti-Romans, anti-Germans, anti-Europeans, anti-monotheistic religions, right? Because they the 3 religions that say you can enslave the African people. So why wouldn't anybody be anti that shit? Niggas just scared of words. And in this motherfucking group, we use words around this motherfucker, and we define it.
Okay, now, you know I got to ask you this, because this is what I hear, or sometimes I see it in the chat room. You said you anti-Greek culture.
Anti-Greek culture.
But you call yourself the black atheist.
The real black atheist.
The real black atheist. Does that have anything to do with Greek?
Yeah, give it in. Go in. Thank you. I really appreciate that, man. Let me give you the reference. Our Stolen Legacy, right? And he talks about the Greek philosopher Socrates, Aristotle, and them, right? Plato's. And he talks about these Greeks coming into Kemet. Okay, they don't even come into Kemet during African power. Right? They come into Kemet probably during the Persian period, because before that point, we was murdering their motherfucking ass, right? If they broke them borders. Let's get that established, because they was out of fucking order. But these particular Greeks, they got into Kemet, right? And they started to get some semblance of teaching to calm the fuck down. Okay? And so when they took that information back to their area, to Ionia, to Athens, right? And they was talking this semblance of African science, the Greeks were looking at them like, the fuck is y'all talking about? They said, you're atheos. You're talking against the state-sponsored religion. So the first people that was considered atheists was those who spoke up against the Athenian government, right? With that anti-Greek teaching. That's what it was. And if y'all want to play the homosexual part, right, let's look at Aeonia. Aeonia, and let's look at Plato. Plato wrote the laws, right? And one law he wrote was, he said it is unnatural to practice homosexuality. I got the book. You know what I'm saying? He said it's unnatural. Now check out Ionia. What is Ionia? Ionia is where man, what's his name? Damn, I can't even think of his name. The first Greek philosopher would be Thales. Thales set up the school in Ionia. Now, why is this important? Because, see, what y'all don't understand is, although the Greeks practiced homosexuality, it wasn't across the board. You had certain Greek provinces, right, that had laws against homosexuality. Now, what is one place that had a law against homosexuality? Ionia. What's in Ionia? It's the first philosophical school for the Greeks. So now y'all have it. So y'all can't get me on that, right? And stop worrying about them goddamn words. I'm anti-Greek culture. Those who came to Greece and start kicking that African science on a small level, they looked at them niggas like they was crazy and say, we're going to murder you. We're going to kill you, right? We're going to burn your ass up. We're going to enslave you and chase your ass out because you're against the Greek government. So everybody here listening to the show should be against the Greek government, should be against the Indo-European government. You're supposed to be anti that if you for that African liberation. So there you go. Niggas just hate words. You feel me?
Talk to me about this before I go to Brother Polight. When you seen Brother Polight up in the plane, you said, man, god damn, that shit like really pumped me up. Talk about
man, listen, man. Look. When he set them niggas up, right? This nigga is a tactician with that shit. You know what I'm saying? Yo, like, I mean, that's what this nigga do. He set him up with he put the screenshot, right, with the, okay, this when he made that statement, right? Then the nigga come in, I was right here, Kemet. Man, I knew he was there because we talked to the nigga while he was in Kemet. All right, see, that's what y'all don't know. While y'all fucking around, this nigga's in motherfucking Africa, yo. You know what I'm saying? Fucking with what he know to be the truth. Y'all niggas can't go to Israel. All right, what you gonna do? Look at some rocks and dirt? You know what I'm saying? So you gotta respect the game. And so when this nigga showed that plane over Egypt, nigga, you couldn't do nothing but stand. I'm like, black motherfucker. I was like, just put my arm. I couldn't even put my arm down and shit. You just was like, shit. Yeah, that's it over with.
My arm down for a minute. I was like, oh.
Yeah, you couldn't. Man, you can't do nothing with that, man. That shows just the motherfucking vigor. The one that had the motherfucking truth. They don't have that. Okay, that shows it just. You know what, yo? We put that money on their head. That's what they don't know. Put that bread on their motherfucking head.
That too. How much y'all spend on y'all property?
Nothing.
Let me go to Brother Polight. Brother Polight, when you heard Nasi say, oh, man, y'all just here to make money, they don't understand that you spent more money on your trip for this debate than so when he said that, what went through your mind, brother?
Oh man, I enjoyed it because they felt they talk prematurely about things and they gamble entirely too much. So for starters, when Lex was talking about one thing I like about Dr. Ben, and I can't stress it enough, to say one thing, you're about to commend Dr. Ben for something, one thing in particular, and with the body of work that he's presented, you're going to demean him or reduce his body of work to the one thing that you commend him for. And that one thing you commend him for is something that you're trying to condemn us for, which means you don't really appreciate the brother. See, that's knowing words, and that's syntax, right? But we'll go forward. So he says the one thing I got to give Dr. Ben is that he said he don't want you going to Egypt in your mind. He wants you to go to Egypt and go in the field. So I'm like, okay, now this is disingenuous because he himself never went to Israel, because this is what he told us, and he intends to go one day. This is what he told us. So why would you hold on to something like that? Because you know you're being disingenuous when you say that. That doesn't prevent us from studying when we could get facsimiles of the same. It's just another part of the experience of the information. So now when he said that, on the day before I was out to leave, I just smiled when I watched the footage. And at that debate, you can clearly see I'm so meticulous that I actually listen to a bunch of information I don't really like just to see what they're saying. You see what I'm saying? Because they didn't give us the charges up front. So I had to generate charges from shit that they said against us. So when I watched that, I said, dang, he going to use Dr. Ben and condemn me for not going in the field or Egypt to get the information. So I said, that's a double negative, because I actually went to Dr. Ben and got his blessings and went to Egypt. You see what I'm saying? So I was like, wow, this is powerful. So I got in the crib and I'm like, okay. Once I got in Egypt, I already started editing. Like, let me just take this Dr. Ben clip right here and let me do what I'm doing. Now that was one. Then when Nasi was like talking about me and money and we just doing this for money and all this other stuff, I just smiled, because not only did I go to Kemet for research, my wife came out with me. So that's double the bill. And my brother came out with me because we was there on research, and the type of research we had to do, we had to accumulate data day to day. And when I say we had to accumulate data day to day, we recorded everything from us being in the neighborhood with the people that lived there. We went at a time which also could have posed as a threat, because January 25th is the day of the revolution. Okay, this is when they was trying to get their man Mubarak out of office. And that rebellion that took place that you kept seeing Egypt on the news on is commemorated every January 25th. And where's this at? That's at the square, Tahrir Square. Where's Tahrir Square? Tahrir Square is adjacent to the Cairo Museum. The first building that got burnt down, right, for the revolution is literally less than 1,000 feet away from the Cairo Museum. Meaning, when you step out the Cairo Museum, the building that they first burnt down was right here. And Tahrir Square, where over 1 million people organized, is just a few feet in front of that. So we come at a time 2 days prior, January 20th. Shadydale Road, 476 acres of land in Eatonton, Georgia. That's the first time I ever experienced anything about Egypt. I never paid it no mind for as long as I was alive. So the first time I really intimately connected with Egypt was when I went on the land. That's the first time I saw I even cared about a pyramid or knew anything about a pyramid. And when I loved what I felt from the land, I went back and I told my wife, yo, we got to go here. For me, the first Egypt I ever knew was in Georgia. So I got my wife, and when my wife experienced it, I dropped out from the gang. When my wife experienced it, she no longer permed her hair. Now, did we read something to tell us don't do it? No. I didn't read nothing that said drop out, and she didn't read nothing that said stop perming her hair. But when we went to the land, the experience was so impactful. Seeing Sphinx blowing water out their mouth. When you cross the bridge, there's 2 rows of Sphinx just blowing water out their mouth. Black Pyramid, people coming, doing their garage, making prayers. And it was just multicultural, too, because people was visiting because it was a Zed Fest or celebration. So, but to see black people was running their own land, I didn't even think such a thing could happen in that capacity ever in my life. And so Tamaray or Nuapia, when we went to, like I said, 404 Shadydale Road, Eatonton, Georgia, that was the first time I ever experienced Egypt, ever, in my life. So other people like, well, those ain't made of limestones and sandstone. Yeah, I hear you, right? But you can't take that from me. I knew nothing about Egypt ever. I knew no deity's name. I knew nothing about no pyramids. I knew nothing. So when I first went on that land, to Dr. York's land, that's when I got interested in Egypt, and I said, yo, I can't deal with this gang thing because I just seen black people organizing a whole nother level. Now, when I left and got my wife to come back real quick, I got my wife to come, then she just didn't want to perm her hair no more. Nothing that she read. It was just the experience alone. Then I stopped eating meat, I stopped drinking soda, I stopped chewing gum. But it wasn't nothing that I read. It was something just clicked in me like everything's been wrong. So when they took the land, it was like they took a part of my wife's and I's relationship. So when this debate came and I'm like, yo, I want to go out and research, and I'm trying to get 2 more people because I'm going to need help carrying my equipment because I had computers and books and everything because I'm still studying. I wrote a book for the debate, but it's my book for the debate is a diary of being in Egypt and chronicalizing everywhere I was going. So I needed help. And then I'm corresponding with him, and he's sending me on research tasks, and I videotaped it. So you're going to see us in the chat where I showed him my findings for the day, and you're going to hear Reggie, yo, he got it. Yo, you see that? That's it right there. And then he's like, yo, you see why Polight's pointing at that side of the wall? That's the research I gave him to do. You're going to see all of that. So this is exciting. But the thing was, when I left to go, my wife was like, I got to go. And I'm like, yo, you know, it's going to be a little intense because it's a revolution. And I'm just rolling. I just want to roll with the brothers on this. I just need 2 more people at minimum because this trip expensive too, but it's really the energy. She said, yo, you know, the land was taken from the Nuwapians, and that's the shit that really made us really love each other and change. So at least we can go to the inspiration, the archetype of that land. I couldn't tell my wife no, because what she said, like I said, when they took Doc's land, that shit tore a part of us up because that's part of our relationship, the history of that land. So I'm coming real quick. So she said she got to go. And when she said it like that, she said this is for our relationship because I never got over when they took the land. I couldn't stop that. So, you know, this was some emotional shit. So she went with me. So when you talk about we do this for money, right? And when they was trying to get at me, I'm like, homie, let me tell you the expenses. It don't cost this much to go to Kemet. You know, people charge a lot. I realize it don't cost that much, but it's all good. We're going to do our own joint. And I'm not saying that to knock nobody. I just thought it was extremely expensive the whole time. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It don't cost that much. It didn't, I'm coming real, I'm going to talk about the money. I just want to talk about the money. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is it don't cost that much. You could go to Egypt for less than a rack. Now, depending on what you're doing, from New York, you can go for less than a rack on a 1 week's notice. But depending on exactly, wow. You know what I'm saying? But depending on, it's actually more from Cali, because at first I was going to fly from Cali. It was like $1,400. You know what I'm saying? But depending on what you're going to do, that's where the expenses accumulate, because then your money getting converted into pounds. You know what I'm saying? Egyptian money. So when this happened, I was like, you know what? Our trip is $6K each after we do everything for research, because not only, not one person, then 2 people, then 3 people. Cause I brought one of the brothers from New Covenant. So you got to look at it like this. We fly into Cairo. Then on the first days, we go to Old Cairo, right? Because we go to Old Cairo so we can go to El Molaka, which is the older church than the Vatican. You see what I'm saying? Because I did some religious research too. We also want to go to the Coptic Museum. The Coptic Museum, early Christian. When we say Coptic, they don't call them Christians in Egypt. They call them Coptic. You know what I'm saying? And when you go to the Coptic Museum, on the first floor, the second you go in, you will swear you in Egypt, because they literally show you that their cross was the Ankh. They show you the boat of Ray on their the boat of Ray is on their joint, and the monograms, the Christian monograms, where Ra, the sun would be, is where they start implementing their crosses. But the boat array is where is on the archaeology. So you go there on the first floor and everything you see is Ankhs, and it's like, wow. So we went to the Coptic Museum. We went to the Hanging Church, because it's literally sitting on a cliff, and it's older than the Vatican. I went there too. I went in there and everything. I filmed everything with my wife and everything. It's a hanging church. It's built on a cliff. You see what I'm saying? They had to rebuild it when an earthquake took place after the 6th century. So then we go down to the cave where they said Mary hid. But right behind that, like 800 feet away, is where Moses hid in the well. And that's why I was like, hold on, everybody's hiding in the same place. You see what I'm saying? And this is about a quarter of a mile from Ben Ezra. It's pseudo, because Moses is hiding in the well behind the church where Mary hid in the cave. I went to both places and I did the filming and saying, what is the odds that everybody's hiding in the same holes? You see what I'm saying? Years apart. Yes, sir. Right in the cave. I went in there. I went exactly to that location.
It's a reason for that, though. The reason they do that. Hold on real quick. It is a reason for that. The reason they do that. And that's why we got Divine, goddamn ass. Divine, I got you, yo, on that bone shit, right? All that whole lecture you did on them bones, people will come up with sites of pilgrimage, right? It's like you develop a tourist attraction of the day. And so they'll say, we have these spots, we have these bones. This is where Noah took a shit at, you know what I'm saying? And people will come, you know what I mean? So you know what I'm saying? That's basically, but that's basically, and Divine did a whole lecture on that. Not understanding the root of that. It's the way they could. So he talking about bones in Belgium some damn where. You know what I mean? That's crazy as hell. You know what I mean? But hold on, boy. And so, but he don't show you the whole article. You know what I mean? So in my presentation, if I get a chance to do it, right, I'm going to show you where he made his damn mistake.
I just want to say one quick thing about my brother Devon. I was waiting to bust you out about this. In that same presentation, he used some work of Brother Jonathan. Now check this out. I quoted my professor from a class that I took at MU University. The transcripts aren't online, so Brother Divine had no way of checking the source I used. He simply stood on my work, which you could do, Divine, because I'm 100. But still, he didn't go. He proved that he did not go back to me to ever see if the source really said what I put forward. He has no access to that because I got it from the class transcripts. So I'm like, oh, wow. So now you're just showing me that you would just go and say, oh, this scholar used it, so I'll use it. That's not how we do research. You have to first make sure the man really said that, because I could have made a typo. You know what I'm saying? I could have messed something up. And so really seeing you were real humble in using my work, and I appreciate that, how we share things sometimes like that. But you showed us as researchers that you did not even go behind what I put forward to verify if it was true.
I wanted to say it on record for Polight that the Proto-Evangelium of James, which somebody called the Infancy Gospel of James, mentions that Jesus was born in a cave. So I'm going to bring you back to where he was before. All right.
So, no doubt. So we in there, and I literally videotaped the cave where they said Mary was hiding. Went out there, went into the backyard, and filmed where they said Moses was in the well drinking water when he was finding out about his mission and everything. Right in the backyard. It's the backyard of the cave that Mary was chilling in at the church. You know what I'm saying? So then we leave, and I'm like, damn, when you hear, and that's, I had to walk down, like I said, it's like less than a quarter mile from Ben Ezra, which is a church that the Jews try to portray as their synagogue since they connect the Moses story to the well. But then they got their spot blown up because you find out when you go there that there was a richest Jew on that side, Ben Ezra, and he purchased it from the Christians. And he posed that synagogue as his own. But prior to that, he purchased it from the Christians who stole it from the Muslims out there. And the Muslims were the Christians out there. They was just earlier Christians that were rebellious. You see what I'm saying? So to make a distinction amongst themselves, they called themselves Copts. And this is true because if you ask any Egyptologists out there, and I not only talked to the Egyptologists out there, I spoke to Amir Elhaway, who is the second most revered Egyptologist, is native to Egypt. Not only does he break down that when you're talking about Egypt, you're talking about black civilization. He says that it goes all the way down to all the way towards Sudan, who has over 200 pyramids, and of course Taharqa there with his tomb there and everything. They're not biased about it, and he'll let you know that Arabic has over 15,000 words that are loaned from Medu Neter. You know, and he keeps it a buck. But I spoke to 3 different Egyptologists. Him, I'm quoting because he's the second most revered. When the number 1 is not in town, he's called number 1. You know what I'm saying? And he's Muslim, but he hasn't said nothing that you would disagree with about Kemet, its relation to black people. And I mean, he's just on point. He just accepts it as it is what it is. And he was hyped to see black people. He was like, yo, I didn't know like the person I was about to meet was black, because he heard about us, because it was set up, because the way my wife and everybody was going to get the research and the effort, and then the people that I'm related to from Nigeria helped me plug me in over there, because when I did my DNA test, I found out I had family in Nigeria who traced their descendancy to Egypt.
How could he know all this information, Polight, and he's a Muslim? He's still a Muslim.
Well, you got to understand this too. You got exactly what I was about to say. If listen to this though. Listen to this. If you live in a country, right? If there's anything that you can take that's of prestige, living in a country, that geographical context, in retrospect to history, is something that you're going to use to build you up, or build esteem, or build pride. Now, maybe somebody in Iraq or Iran, they won't identify it as Muslims, but the Muslims in Egypt, they don't wear jalabia. Well, they don't use jean, they use gim. So they don't say jalabia, they say galabia. So they don't wear jalabias. They wear galabias. They don't use, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So what happens is, my man goes out there, he tries to put on a galabia in their tongue, and he has his beard, right? And his name is Omar, so he's thinking that's going to give him some love, you dig? And we found out, like, being black out there is excellent, because they identify you as a former ruler of the throne. So everywhere my wife went, everyone, Muslims and the like, all say goddess, goddess, goddess. And I took a picture and video. I took a video. I got over 20 videos of recordings of people saying, can we take a picture of you doing this? Because we was black, and I asked why they do this. I asked 2 Egyptologists why everyone's calling us royalty, or cousins, or brothers, or sisters, and why are Muslims calling my wife goddess or throne holder. This is what everyone says, not just one part of Egypt. 8 hours driving if you drove. We flew from Cairo to Luxor, but it's 8 hours if you drive. From Cairo to Luxor, which is an 8-hour difference if you're on the road. Everyone calls us royal family. When me, my wife, and my brothers walking, royal family. Cousin, when you coming back? From the Nubians to the native Egyptians of present day that's pale or lighter skin. Everybody says, we identify y'all as the Nubians that got kidnapped. We identify y'all as the people who sat on the throne. Everyone knows that y'all sat on the throne. And I got it on camera, and I could show you everywhere we go, whether it's other tourists or people native to the land. That anti-Africa stuff that they tell you people on in Egypt today, they see black people, and they even if they poor, they want to give you something. They want to give you food. They want to give you a drink. They have nothing, and they want to give you whatever they have, because they seen that and we cried. I cried. My man cried. My wife cried. One night we just cried because it hit us on the 4th night, 4th or 5th, and I wrote it in my journal the night that it hit me. And I'm like, yo, I'm going back here. I wanted to live out there, and I still do, because it's the first time in my life that you feel it, you know what I'm saying? But yo, nah, on the real, because it's the first time in my life I didn't have to fight or convince people who I was. You know what I mean? It's like I came somewhere, and they told me, and I couldn't get it on the 1st, 2nd, or the 3rd day. It took a while for it to set in that people kept calling us royal family. So, you know, I'm just thinking, you know how we say, what up, God? But then we don't treat each other like gods. Or we say, what up, sis? But we don't treat each other like sister. What's up, my brother? But then, you know, we be on some shady shit after that. But when I went there, everywhere you go, it was so common that I had to say, hold up, why everybody? I'm thinking maybe they want to get tourist money or something. So I'm like, but then even people who got money, it's like, yo, I'm so glad I didn't know that. And they don't call you black. They think it's offensive, because they only know from what they see. So from what they know in English, black means something negative. So they call you Nubian instead. Because I was asking them, why y'all keep saying sorry when you say the word black? Or one time a Chinese man, I got that on camera, asked an Egyptologist that was around us. He was like, the Nubians black? Because he was looking at us. He's like, were the people that ruled the kingdom, he said, I read they were Nubians. Are the original Nubians black? Chinese man was asking the Egyptologist because he was doing a tour. And the Egyptologist looked at us. And he was like, yo, he told the Chinese guy, I'm going to talk nicely to you, but you're being extremely disrespectful. You see what I'm saying? And he said, don't ever use that language here, because we don't do that when we come in the presence of royalty. And then so he shunned the Chinese man, right? And the Chinese man was like, I'm sorry. And he started saying sorry to my wife and I. So this is a very light-skinned Egyptian. You know what I'm saying? He looks like an Arab, but he still looked like he got some black in him or something. But he looked like an Arab, right? And so we asked him after. I got him on camera. I said, yo, why was you so offended when he called us or identified us as black? Because we do that a lot in America all the time. He said, y'all call each other black? He said, well, we just don't mean no disrespect to you. You know what I'm saying? Because we see that y'all was on the throne. We going to call you by the name that you was on your throne. So he gave me like 12 different names. One of them was Nubian, though. You know what I'm saying? He said, we would rather call you what you was called and, you know, native to this land before we call you black, because that's an offensive term.
Take this call and go ahead to him right quick. Brother Jonathan and the Amara Squad team. Do you think it's important? And I think y'all should do this. Do a world tour. I don't think nobody could do it like y'all. Not a world tour, but I'm talking about a tour going to Egypt, like taking people to Egypt, going in, and I think that'd be powerful right there, brother.
You know, Polight was out there making the way right now, and hopefully I'll be able to be involved when he do his thing. Now, I'm a Rock Squad. We got plans to do a whole lot of things. The first you spoke on something to the extent of a world tour. I won't say world, but yeah, I mean national. But yeah, well, we'll touch on Egypt in one extent, but that's something probably further down the line. More primarily, we're gonna try to do some national, bringing this information to people on some type of maybe a summer tour or possibly even a fall tour in 2015, but we just got to organize it. So as Nazi Yashaville told y'all at the debate last night, I ain't been to Egypt, and I want to be a master when I get there, and so that's just something personal. I want to be able to son to everybody, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, I still got another year. I think I'm going to try to go with Polight in the fall or something, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, we're going in the fall.
And that's another thing people got to know. First of all, I'm coming right now, okay? Nah, I've been humble the whole time. You know that. Don't front.
Start that shit again.
He's like, keep my eye on you. No, I definitely want to hear you because you don't live out here, man. I was mad that Sinjetti and Asar left, man. Yeah, they go in, man. It feels so good to be around people who appreciate and indulge in the knowledge so much that it's hard to distract them, you know, with foolishness. You know, so I want to definitely give thanks to those brothers for being here. But like I said, when we came out there, we went to Cairo, then we went to Old Cairo. Old Cairo is where they have like the oldest mosque out there, and you see the Kemetic influence. And then you also have the Copts or the Christians, but they don't call them Christians out there. Like religiously, they won't call them Christians. They call them Copts or Coptic. You know what I'm saying? And then if you go in the Coptic museum, everything is onked out. Everything. All their crosses, Jesus is even on an ankh in there. He's on an ankh in there. I got it in my book.
I'm saying, how did they put Jesus in there?
This happens around the 6th, 7th century. Around 6.
Yeah, you're going to find the first cops in the 3s. And then
Yeah, the first ankhs is like in the 200, 300s. And then when you start going to 6, 7, you start seeing a transition. Then you're also going to see this Ethiopian ankh with a black woman at the top of it with a big afro. Remember I showed you that? You know what I'm saying? You're going to see where the circle would be. It's like a circle going in, and then at the very top, to complete the circle, is a black woman with a big afro. And it's in the Coptic Museum because the Copts in Egypt also used to wear that as a cross. But it's a black woman with a big afro. I got it in my new book that I released. So then, which the new book is called Kemetic Arcana and the Hebrew Dialectic Subterfuge. So that's in Old Cairo. So now we go from Old Cairo. We went to the Cairo Museum, and like I was explaining when you was out, that the revolution that took place with the Egyptians that got people scared to go there is literally baseline to the Cairo Museum where the revolution took place. So after that, we went to Memphis, we went to Saqqara. At Saqqara, that was powerful because at Saqqara is where you see what Imhotep built up and you get to go by the step pyramid or the ziggurat. You dig what I'm saying? And then you also have Necherket. You see what I'm saying? Which is who they call Zozar. But Necherket is a deep term. You know what I'm saying? Like how we call a black man God. You know what I'm saying? That's all within the confines of that word Necherket, right? And so rather than call him Zozar, we should call him Necherket. It means God body. And inside there, they got a statue of him enclosed in stone, but there's 2 holes like for his eyes to look out. And people think that the eyes is for you to look in, but that's for him viewing the world from the inside on out and allowing the sun to come in. But it's crazy because when you look through the holes, you see him right there, and it just gives you this feeling. And then also you have his family.
Yeah, you trip. Put 2 bags on it, man. Hey, hold on. Hey, hold on. And so the prosecution, right? See what they didn't understand when you deal on the trial and see Polight, you know what I'm saying? And you Smash, you understand what that means. Once you put a nigga on trial, you have the prosecution and the fucking defense. Yo, we had the motherfucking dream team in that motherfucker, yo. All right, let's get that shit straight, man. And so, but hold on. So when Divine young ass, because he only 2 years in it, and I like Divine, because he's where we was. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, right? All right, so he's sharp, right? But he just
be like, I used to be a Hebrew.
I used to be a Hebrew. Right. So, but hold on. But when Smash say, "Hey, Divine," I say, "Oh shit, they gonna get him." Can you read that right there? Divine looked up. He said, "Man, get out of here. You can't read that."
He starts saying, well, the R is kind of like, I'm like, dang, you almost got it. You got one of the letters. Just stop over-explaining and get the other 2 letters and say what it say. Man, he's like, well, the R is, man, I would have did that with no Hebrew. I would have been like, go on and read, bro.
Yo, don't give it back to Black.
Don't worry. But I'm not going there. I'm feeling the debate. I'm throwing it over here to you though. You know what I'm saying? When he came in with the DNA information showing that, because this is what I'm saying to people, because they don't really understand what's going on. When we did that debate, because they didn't want to give us exactly what we're being accused of, which is the first video I started off when their own Hebrew Israelite brother said there's something called discovery, and he was a paralegal. They had a Hebrew Israelite, right, that we call the baby Hebrew. They had a Hebrew Israelite who's a certified paralegal in New York that made it clear that there's such a thing called discovery. And fam, y'all got to turn over what the accusations are so they can be prepared and set a defense. Now, what we're saying is, since we couldn't really get exactly what we wanted issued to us so we can prepare, we prepared ourselves. So part of the preparation was we just know all their accusations that they've been saying, and since they don't want to specify which accusation they're going to come with, we just took their accusations with us to court and said, yo, try us for this in addition to what you're saying, and if you don't want to be clear, we know what you've been saying anyway, we're going to get you. So one of the things that they were saying was that, but what's this? Aside from the Medu Neter claims that they didn't want to attack us for when we came to court, one of the other claims was, y'all niggas ain't no real Egyptians. I wanted them to use the Igbo tribe so I could show them where the migration took place, because that's how I got access to the pyramids in Egypt, because my family members out there are one of the protectors of the pyramids, and I'm going to show you something. When the videos go up, y'all ain't never seen the type of access to pyramids that you seen me have. So when they say you got to pay for it or they not going to let you in, when you see me in there praying, chanting, meditating, not just one pyramid. Not just one pyramid. You see, I did this in Giza. I did this in Saqqara. I did this in several pyramids for Dolo with my wife.
Let me tell the story, B.
Yo, so the point I was going to drive to Ankh was another thing that they got called on. It's because they keep saying that y'all not Egyptians. But he showed you in his DNA that he got the right to argue for Kemet. Exactly. I said I got the right to argue for Kemet. Yeah, so what I was saying is, you got him on that.
After you. I want to remember that point.
Hey, see, that's important. Mad job the fuck up. Them niggas was mouses in there. And then I showed the Jewish DNA. My shit say N-A, 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 N-A. But hold on. But hold on.
I want you to ask this. The Magi. When you say the Magi, is that his name or is that like a title? When you say the Magi, because I thought that was your name, and now I hear Unc saying, yeah, we Magi, the Magi up. So what is the Magi?
Just say one thing before he break it down. Magi is individual and plural. One person is a Magi, or we got Magi'u, but a force was called the Magi. But he gonna break down who the people were So that's what. Yeah.
The Benjai. The Benjai. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and it's just important. And see, I always fuck with ancestors, right? Now, the site I fucking with for my DNA, right? I got like the most expensive shit because the person donated. I'm be honest. All right. Okay, person donated that, right? Now they routinely upgrade that shit, right? Listen to me. Now, the whole month leading to the debate, the site was down. They say we working on it, I'm like, damn, I want to have that shit. You know what I'm saying? Nigga, by the time that shit went back online, yo, and they had more results because they went and tried more people, my shit was like the mad. I was like, damn.
They was doing that.
Dude, I promise you, dog. Hey, I promise you, my mother line, my father line, it was just there. You know what I'm saying? It was 12% for the mother line. Then it was 54%, you know what I'm saying, for the Nubian side, the Magi. The Egyptians, the Ethiopians. So, nigga, I tell them niggas, go get, look, I say, nigga, go get that DNA shit. They wouldn't. But then they bring my man from Damona in there. It was like they was falling out lap. The nigga from Damona in there talking that bullshit. Then I had the Damona slide. Bam.
I told him about the spider web. Once you do it, because I'm gonna go back to what Polight was talking about.
So I'm just saying, man, you know, for real, when we brothers fighting for the truth, man, we not trying to make it up. This nigga will tell you about the Hebrews. We telling the truth here. We just saying if you can't prove it, it's not there, dog. So we not trying to fooliship a nigga. We're not trying to fool y'all, man. At the end of the day, yo, we want the truth because we all want to be able to fight this racism, white goddamn supremacy, man. So y'all be trying to make that shit up, man. That's why y'all stumbling, man. Come the fuck home, man. Come the fuck home, dude, where they taught a nigga how to pray and what to pray to. Come on, man. Hey, Mike, man. Listen, man. Check it out, man. And this is African custom and tradition, man. I read the motherfucking prophecy to him. See, let me get this shit straight, nigga. If you want to know about some motherfucking prophecy, you got to go home, nigga. We got the book, right? The first-hand goddamn account. I got a book, an archaeological survey, right? And it's spoke of in the suit, right? Coming to get the goddamn Magi to chase some fucking Asiatics about it. Did I not read that in that video?
To help his brother
Akmos. To help his brother Akmos out. I'm just trying. Come on, dog. Hey, dog, when I read that shit, hey, I put it, it's on film, nigga. That's why I say, here, take the white flag. It's over with, nigga. We see that. You know what I'm saying? Niggas ain't, you know what I mean? Seriously. Yo, arrows up. I told him. And when Hashar and them was talking shit, we was putting out them videos, we wasn't trying to be mean. That's why he threw that shit at Nazi before the debate, because he ain't want to hurt him like that in the debate. Because that's our brother. So when he shot that shit off, I knew it was coming down. This nigga come right in the debate. Listen. Stepped out the arrow, say, choo, 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 choo. First round was over with. I say, damn, you ain't saved nothing for us.
Honestly, no disrespect, Hashar, you really good on the street corner, but bruh, you ain't no good with a mic in your hand. You was looking silly. I couldn't even really hear you. That's just not it for a scholastic debate, bruh. I'm just giving you some pointers if you want to try to survive in this ring. Let me get back to what I was trying to say for the longest about my brother Polight going to Kemet. Because if y'all don't know, we just really first met in real life when I got to the debate. But we've been building like brothers on the research team like we got to have it. We was basically putting too much pressure on ourselves. We was like, we got to know the whole Kemet. Yeah.
We was just
but that's how we do it.
That's how the Raw squad do it, yo. And we brought this nigga into the fold of that. He was like, y'all niggas wild. No, but see, that's what people don't understand, yo. The Raw squad argue like a motherfucker. Scholastically, that shit bullshit. We do it. I hit him with it. He was like, what? Yeah, that's just pseudo Polight. What, nigga? Then he go fix that shit. Then he steps up. Now, nigga, what? But that's what we do to critique each other. And that's what the Hebrews don't have nobody to tell them the truth. See, we got people they all got their own shit. But see, we can tell. This nigga say, that ain't right. This nigga say, come on, I mean, so we can actually critique shit. And that's what make the group stronger. That we critique
what I'm trying to say. So back about the pyramid, he right. Back about the pyramid. So I'm talking to Polight on the phone. And he like, yo, I'm about to go to Egypt to do help for the real research. First we was talking about coming together, but I didn't have it. So I'm like, I can send you my wishes, my brother. But look, we like, let's start building. And so I said, I'm thinking to myself at my house, like, how valuable could this brother's trip actually really be for our debate? So I'm like, okay, let me pull out the best things I can have him do. I was like, bruh, I said, I'm going to test to see how raw you are. I'm like, you need to get into the pyramid of Pepe and stand right here, you know what I'm saying, and right next to the door and dude, we go back. He sent me the next day in the pyramid, standing right next to the text that I'm looking at with my magnifying glass. I said, bruh, he got some ancestors with him. Like, that's when I knew. I was like, they really might be with bruh. You know what I'm saying?
Hold on real quick. He said,
Oh,
real
no.
quick, gang.
He trying not to pass back.
He's like, nah, Jonathan, it's like, if they let you get there, at least take a picture, maybe even in front of the pyramid if you can. I'm like, yo. I'm like, all right, I got something. I told him, yo, I got the major hookup. My family's out here, like, word up. So I said, I'm going to show him something. So I came back, and when you see it on camera, you're going to see Reggie, like, I said, look, I took pictures too of everything, every square foot. So I said, I showed them a zoom-in picture, enlarging it, and then you hear Reggie like, Jonathan, you see that? It's on video. That's it, Jonathan. And then he like, yo, Jay is like, oh, it's fucking over. Like, damn, like, I'm really seeing this trip is crazy.
Hey, look, check this out. Hey, Saul, hey, Saul, let me, that camera right, yo. This is my glory in the sun, nigga. Hey, it feel good to be the king of goddamn New York, though. Understand it, yo, and to share that with my brothers, yo. The king sitting here, yo, that feel good. But when he showed that goddamn wall, right, and this man spent that goddamn 2 stacks, whatever the fuck it was, to get that goddamn facsimile. See, I'm telling y'all, right? See, this where y'all was fucked up at. This brother, he goes to the actual goddamn wall. Bam. This guy gets the facsimile off the wall. Bam. You can't beat that. Because as an Israelite, y'all can't do that. Y'all stuck in that book.
Let me ask, y'all really don't. We didn't even get to tell y'all what was at the bottom of that. This is what it comes down to. The Europeans said that a term, which I explained the other day, aret, was on that wall. But when I found out looking at the facsimile, that portion is actually broken off. So they had to choose the determinative. So before I could bring that forward, we needed somebody to go verify that section was really broke out of the pyramid. And who did that? Brother Polight. You know what I'm saying?
So, I mean, he went to that goddamn wall, man. Y'all need to go to the wall and up. They ain't got it. Why don't y'all go to up? It ain't there. See how that game is? See, y'all got to try too hard, man. Yeah.
Wind up in the Holocaust Museum soon.
Hey, what happened to the curator?
What happened to that curator? Oh, we would have loved to have him there. You know what I realized, man? You know, so we've already hearing rumblings about a rematch, right?
Rematch?
What rematch? It's over with.
Why would Nazi complain about PhDs and use Herodotus, right? Who does not know any person named Jew, Hebrew, or Israelite. They kill their own. I mean, why would you bring up Herodotus? Herodotus doesn't know Jews, Hebrews, or Israelites. They don't exist in his eyes at 486 BC when he wrote. So why would you bring him up? That don't make no sense, bruh.
Because they use that goddamn white power research.
Man, I don't care what nobody in the community say. I am a scholar who would use some white word. What is your problem? You act like you go into any academy in academia and you get to choose the color of the person of the book when you're doing some type of analysis. That's silly. Now, we are qualified in understanding and identifying bias. Okay, so if you don't know how to identify bias, then yeah, you may have to go off of color at the beginning and be like, oh, I can't read nothing white. But that's so stupid, that's so silly, and we really gonna be getting beat up. I'm positioning myself to defend criminology against these Europeans. So in order to discredit Paul Roberts, I had to read so much work. I read every book, every source that he sourced. I can tell you stuff about the people. No, let's just get down to it. This is another thing they did not know. See that pyramid text that they always was hinging on, 1036? Pyramid text 1036 came forward in 1977 by Jean Louchant, who found a whole new chamber in the pyramid of Pepi I and brought forth 2,000 new pyramid texts. So I'll be standing there with my mouth shut with everybody talking about how they examined the primary when you can't examine the primary if you got an old copy of the pyramid text. The only way you can examine the primary is if you're dealing with the French school of Egyptology, because Louchant, I got the book, and that was the big book with the primary that we held up yesterday. Yeah. Louchant basically did not even make that public for everybody. It's only in two of his books. So when they got this pyramid text 1030, then if you go right now and type in Jeanleclant, Louchant or whatever, you'll see exactly this dude looking like Versace. You know what I'm saying?
The what would you say?
Looking like Liberace.
Hey, what about that claim that our brother Nazi Yasharel did with the breasted, right? I'm gonna make sure over the weeks Remember he presented. I don't know, man. He presented the damn breasted shit, talking about the homosexuality. You know that part? What was it? It wasn't CT 700. What did he do? Coffin text what? Yeah, let's address that real quick.
See, I got all this work in my book, Magi Handbook for the Conscious Community. This what happened. It came out February 8th, right? But for the people who pre-ordered it, I'm only sending it to y'all. Everybody else gonna have to wait. Since y'all didn't want to pre-order, you see what I'm saying? That's how it works. But look, it's Pyramid Text 635. Man, I would have did that in under 5 words. They look stupid. They talking about sodomy was a way to gain power in Pyramid Text 635, right? But check this out. The lady buried in that coffin, yes, the lady. It was a woman's coffin. So how, if you propose that the coffin text said that this woman was supposed to sodomize somebody in the afterlife, how was that to happen if she could not become ichthyphallic? Huh? It's silly.
It's about
It's
money.
silliness.
Nigga, I think niggas be hating because they got to go to work. And you entrepreneurs right here. And see, check this out. I can't get. Hold on, sir.
That was there, they loved that shit.
Hey, sir. Right. So watch this. Right, but hold on. Let me get this straight. Let me let y'all understand what's really going around this motherfucker, yo. Niggas right here, yo, we sacrifice working a job, dog. You can't work a fucking job and do like this and do all this shit, man. White man, you think a white man gonna let me work for him? He go to my Facebook page. Oh, hell no, you revolution this motherfucker. Like, you know what I'm saying? How the fuck you think we eat around this motherfucker?
That's why they be mad we even got, let me see.
That's right.
Motherfuckers be mad you can speak, excuse my language, cats sometimes will get mad that you can even speak freely on your public platform. They be like, you said that on Facebook? I be like, I ain't got nobody to answer to. You know what I'm saying? But dudes with, I'm no disrespect, we all got to have a job, a way to feed our family, but you got to notice how that also, they socially engineer you into a little good boy. And so being entrepreneurs, we got a little bit more freedom. I just want to add that.
Yeah, and what I want to say is, oh man, well, I'm going to tell you this. Yo, I'm going to tell you this. If you want to talk about money being made, first of all, when as a promoter of the event as well, I got to be responsible for cutting the checks to everybody participating. So this means I'm not the only one making money. It's a collective effort. This means that the Hebrews were part of a collective effort for them to be paid. Feeding black people. Say that again, Polight. We're feeding. And with the money we're feeding them, they're going to buy clothing and or sustain their shelter or purchase food for their family. So Nasi, he got paid. You see what I'm saying? He got paid 4 digits. My team was getting less and was making money from different things. My team was like, look, we're gonna come out with products. We're gonna do crowdfunding. We did creative things to generate revenue. But what we did, we made concessions to the Hebrews so they didn't feel away. So yeah, we ain't give Unc no $1,000 or $2,000. We ain't give Unc that. Unc just said Unc came on the strength of the spirit of the knowledge. I'm going to be there, and he came to support his brother immediately. He came to support myself, and in the spirit of truth, he just was elated at the fact that this was going down. So he was coming any damn way. But guess what? He didn't get paid like how Hashar was on contract, how Daniela, who got paid, was on contract, how Nasi got paid. So listen, them brothers got paid. They're not going to go back and say I didn't get paid. And they got paid exactly what we was mandated to pay them. And Smash here, he wasn't even paid before Nasi was completely paid. One, he wasn't getting paid the amount Nasi got paid. Two, because we decided we was going to be creative in our endeavors to get paid. He said, Polight, I don't want to put the burden on you to have to pay all these things out, because if worse come to worse, too much snow or what have you, that's the investment out the window, because the venue costs $2,000. You dig what I'm saying? The venue costs $2,000. I petitioned to the custodians of the venue because the owners of the venue, black business, wanted us out. So we raised funds at the venue, $600. I needed $800. We raised $600. Hashar was with me when I raised it. Hashar was with me when I petitioned to have an extension of time, because the Hebrews was making it like it was a setup to stop them. And I'm like, yo, we want more rounds. We want to really just keep nailing them. When you see what I had for the next one, you would be like, yo, why would we back down? And then I'll put this on my life. Word to everything I love. Sinjetti, Asar Tep, Brother Ankh, I put it on my life. I never felt so confident. I'm thinking, damn, I'm always do team debates. Because though I like rocking out, this was new. So I had to learn how to share time and build with people. But I'm going to tell you, I'm gonna tell you some real serious shit. You guys who are lucky that we ain't go full length because of Hotep, Sinjetti, and Ankh. The way we had it designed was we was doing our rounds together and we was going to dig. Then we was going to let them do the rebuttals.
You know why we started late? GOCC, they didn't have nothing planned.
Yeah. Go ahead.
GOCC, they couldn't even set up their camera. They didn't. I mean, not the camera. They wasn't prepared. GOCC wasn't prepared, so they started like 2 hours late, man. One thing I'm gonna give credit to ISUPK and to Zoriak, brother. Hold on. One thing we got to give props to is our brother to Zoriak, ISUPK, because once they know they are in the debate, they are involved in it from the beginning to the end. They come to the site, they want to set up everything to make sure everything is running right. See, them brothers is organized. They call me and Polight. We got to go all the way out into the boondocks to drive them brothers. They don't wait at the minute of the debate. They check on the sound system. They check on the computers. They check on everything. They did everything. Whereas these brothers, they didn't do none of that, man. They waited to the last minute, and they relied on us to come with the computer, to come with the thing, and that's when everything went haywire. But my fault is, and I'm going to admit that my fault, is that I relied on them to supply us with the goddamn Wi-Fi. Because this is what they said. They said, they said, I think they set us up. Because this was the thing. Gabar all week was telling me, brother, don't worry about it. We got the Wi-Fi. Don't worry about it. We got internet. Even Brother Divine was in the dark on that. Because Divine people was tuned in. So I was like, damn, Polight came in and said, yo, what's up with the Wi-Fi? I just looked at him and said, yo, brother, they coming up with some shit about ain't no damn server. So I'm like, oh my God. I was mad. I was like stressed on that. I said, well, this is what we got to do. Me and Polight said, yo, let's just throw this shit on YouTube. We got to give it to the people now. We got to give it all to them. And that's when me and Polight just went to work. He did it on his channel. I did it on my channel.
But I don't understand why you guys
What's this?
Set the YouTube, next time you live stream, just do it over YouTube.
Yeah, no doubt. But this was the issue. This was the issue though. The primary issue was one, and this is why I didn't feel good when I found out that Gabar was supposed to do the internet. Now, let me say this. Gabar may not have been part of a conspiracy to impede on our ability to have access to the internet. But what I would say is this. A big issue in the debate was that they did not want us to be able to use the internet, which we were okay with, aside from the fact that his slides were on the internet. So it came to the point where it was agreed upon we could use the internet to access our slides.
So we didn't let them know we did not use. We
didn't use it. So now, but the thing was this: it was still this thing like, but are y'all going to try to sneak and use the internet? So what made it look suspect, but I don't know this to be true, but what made it look suspect is when I find out that we're going to be using Gabar's internet to provide our stream service. So when I find out we're going to use Gabar internet to provide our stream, I'm like, the same person that's part of the group that want to make sure there's no access to the internet, that might impact us on the business end as far as providing pay-per-views. So I was like, all right, fuck it. We go with it. So then I come in because my wife is like, yo, what's up? People are calling. I'm like, so I go to Sa, and he's like, yo, shit ain't working out. So I'm like, oh, man. So I had to go home, get my iPad so we could use it as a hotspot to provide internet. So we did that. Now, here's another thing that Sa touched on that was very important because the Hebrews are making it seem like and this, I told people this. I told Divine this on the couch. I said, my brother, y'all going to complain because this is what happens. At the end of these debates, there's the other side that feels real bad about the outcome, and they start post-debating and going crazy. When I end the debate, I end as a professional, and I told everybody on the Hebrew side, I love you guys. Thank you for contributing. Thank you for participating. And then I told my brothers, thank you for participating. It was a wonderful event. The people on both sides, man, enjoyed that debate, man. I hate when people leave the debate and try to create this idea that everybody's angry. When you watch this debate, y'all, and you really see it online, there's a point where Sarnetta asked the people, can we just cut to an intermission so we can patronize the vendors? It's like, who wants to stop right now? The roof almost blew off. I'm telling you, people was on the balcony. Yo, they're like, No, that's going crazy, man. Yo, the energy was powerful, man. It was powerful. It was like being in a rap battle or something.
And this is why we always tell you, it is always better.
I'm gonna say is, yo, to be honest with you, yo, I mean, the brothers took care of me. I ain't had to pay for my flight and all that shit. I might not took no straight up payment, but they made sure I was straight, yo. You know what I mean? Hey, the Magi Research Fund, that's some real shit right there. All right? Hey, son, never start saying, God damn, the fuck? Niggas start saying, yeah, but we knew that the people would help us. And, hey, I'm gonna give a shout out to Brother Reggie right now, yo. Hey, from day one, yo, Brother Reggie came in and I was late. You know, Saw, if you late with Saw, you done. Yo was like, man, shit, I got my shit lighted out. It's just business, though. But Reggie stepped the fuck up, yo, the first day, second day, and I appreciate it. It's good people. We amend that.
That's crazy.
Man, Yahweh did that shit, man. See, Yahweh, hey, listen, Yahweh good for making you miss flights and shit, fuck up the internet. That's all he good for, right? But Yahweh was not in the building. He did not show up for them niggas. He did not show up, yo.
No, I tell him, no, I take that back. I keep telling Yahweh was in the building. He just was on the side of truth. He was on the side of truth.
What's this though? You can't front. If you was there in the beginning, the way they was going off on Shaka, you almost felt like the whole building was populated Hebrew. Because Shaka has a different demeanor, and his demeanor is great. You know, Shaka's like, yo, I'm just dealing with the information, can't play around. But we told Shaka, look, the energy you gotta have for this type of atmosphere, you gotta be careful with that. Delivery accounts for a lot. Now, when you watch the beginning, you're going to feel like, oh, shit, because they came out hard on Shaka. Yon Wasak came out talking about the Heru lock and saying that, you know, you supposed to have that when you're going through puberty, so you're a little boy. Nah, you're right. But it's always about refutation. Exactly. It's about rebuttal.
Or he just said it?
No, he showed it.
He showed a picture of a grown man with the lock?
No, he showed
Oh,
it.
the picture
Yo,
of the
he did
No,
show it.
one
He
accepts it.
showed where they was talking about this is a lock for the boys, for the little boys.
Yeah.
I got Nubians, grown men killing people with the lock on.
Yeah. And Nubians took the throne. But so that's what I was saying. Like, it started off with the energy and the support, but anybody that was in that building can tell you that the wind was taken out of them. Like, if you see how it started, when they was dealing with Shaka, you like, oh shit, it's gonna be a long night for Kemet. Cause mad people was looking at me like, yo.
What happened was, I seen you edging them on, and then I was also, yo, go ahead, Shaka, and then I seen Polight, yo, go in there, bust that ass.
Hold on, Polight.
Start pumping them up.
Hey, hold on, give me that real quick. Hold on. This what the fuck I want to say, man. Hold on. When we walked through that motherfucking door, and that crowd stood up, yo, and started saying, I'm a Raw Squad, I was like, yo, damn. I was like, what? What? I was fucked up. Yo, I was like, oh shit. I was like, what? They stood up in them, hold on, we fucked the debate up in the middle of them debating with Shaka. I snatched the goddamn mic. I'm a Raw Squad the fuck up, yo. I'm saying, that shit had me hyped. I was like, yeah, I say these people, see this time, right, the people showed out.
That's what's up.
And I'm telling y'all showed up with that love, yo. And when this nigga come out with the first round knockout, I was like, why you doing it, yo?
Yeah, that's exactly what he said, too.
I say, what's up? I was mad. I say, damn, you supposed to dance or something? Pop, pop, pop. This nigga come right out. He walked right over there like this. Boom. I was like, damn, yo.
Yo, did you see at the end of Shaka presentation where he showed the motherfucker getting knocked out? Boom.
Yeah,
Who was that? Who he showed?
I don't know. I walked in right on it. It seemed like Tyson or somebody.
Yeah, that was bad. I like that. I was like, God
He said,
damn.
don't fuck with me now.
You know what's interesting, though? They debating niggas that write books.
Yo, everybody's writing books.
See, Shaka writing books, right? Polight got books, right? You got about 500 books,
one,
like.
actually.
That nigga right on. You got, hey, hold on. What's that book again, yo? Give it
It's
to him.
called Magi, a handbook for the conscious community. Really, because all of these claims that y'all couldn't refute, now they're going to be all in one place with all the sources. So you can take it back to your teacher because it's going to be a sourceable book.
But the interesting part about the book is for white academia. See, the book is for white academia, for the conscious community to be able to stand strong against white academia. That's the kind of scholarship we're producing. The sword never was developed to beat up the Hebrews. Y'all just fell into that shit.
If Seti would have came in that building,
I tried to get. Yeah, said he know damn well he's supposed to have made it.
He's supposed to walk in right with us.
But we did that for the general. You know what I'm saying? We made sure we went and got that for the general. He know
that
that.
shit would have been crazy. If he would have walked in, How you think the crowd would have been right there after that? When they seen y'all coming and then he came down after that,
it'd been
had
crazy.
on the hood,
Yeah, it'd been
nobody
crazy.
see him, and then he pulled the shit off
Yeah,
right
it'd
there.
been crazy.
Stand.
Yeah.
That shit would have just brought the house down.
That'd been
right.
crazy. Garfield, you want to say something?
And for the first time, I feel that the crowd was somewhat even at this time.
Yeah, it was.
The crowd, it wasn't like the Hebrews overtook us, because the Hebrews, they was like on the left side.
Kind of seemed like that.
They was on the right side, and all the Kemetic people was on the right side, and I was like, oh shit.
I owned that balcony.
Right.
That balcony was killing.
Yeah, we had the balcony, man. That shit was good. That's why I say it ain't nothing like being there and feeling that energy, man. People was from all over the world that was up in there. From Texas. That was the best. That was the best. It was a great debate.
I was gonna say one of the best things though was the fact that we learned a lot from the SETI debate with Nazi. A lot of the pseudo stuff that he said
Go get that, Polight.
could not be challenged. And what happened is when they threw up all this stuff about incest, it's not like SETI debate where he could run with the information and Jonathan had to respond like 2 months later or whatever. The debate we was able to respond at the same time about the incest, about all these silly charges that they brought, and they were shocked that we was quick on the mind, or you already had the information on you, or Polight had it. So when they said the incest, they had it. I was in between a Hebrew Israelite from Chicago and a brother that was a Hebrew Israelite, but now following Kemetic. So I'm in between these dudes arguing. I'm like, damn, the minute you brought out the stuff about the DNA, I'm sorry, you brought out the stuff about the incest, right? He said, what about the DNA? I'm like, a Hebrew Israelite is a proponent for DNA now? Then you brought this and slammed it with the DNA and said that Nazi lied. All of a sudden I saw Nazi missing MIA to the bathroom. Nazi, you lied, Nazi. You said, Nazi, you lied.
That's what he had to be the.
I'm like, hold up. This is the problem with the whole thing, man. When you hear one side and you don't hear the other side, and you like, my thing to the Hebrews, stick to the Bible if you're going to believe it, and leave archaeology and history alone. Because it don't add up. Archaeology and history do not add up with that book at all. Hold on, man. And Shaka, let me give you a shout out, man. I don't want, because Shaka not here, whatever. I don't know how his schedule is. But let me tell you something, man, Sir. Bring that brother back here. Let him do another presentation of what he did. Because let me tell you something. He brought us some information. I can't wait to see that video. I'll buy 3 copies just to see what Shaka did. Shaka did a great job, man. All right, yo.